Hello, everyone. Good evening in Malaysia. Good morning in the US. We are here with Alish and the birds, uh, spending a beautiful evening together, talking about a very specific topic that we will reveal very soon. Alish, hi, how are you today?
Hi, Andrea, and everyone around the world. Hope you're doing great. Thank you so much, Andrea, for having me here.
You were very short, so you didn't let me paste the things and do my things. So let's go a little bit further and introduce you to the audience so that they can get to know you a little bit better.
Sure. Well, basically, I just graduated from my bachelor's degree in engineering from University of Malaya. It's in Malaysia, and as you know, but my studies were like maybe 5-10% of my time because on this side, I was always either working or doing some projects, student projects, volunteer projects, and so on. So I had the chance to meet a lot of amazing people like yourself, Andrea. Uh, so I could say I'm in the transition right now between the full-time student to a full-time working adult. However, I've been exposed to working situations for so long, so it's just the full-time is changing.
That must be a little bit weird. I remember when I was teaching and I was in internship and then I became full time, and it was kind of like a mix up between like still having a little bit of access to my young life and already switching to the very
Yeah.
serious responsibilities and everything. So Alish, tell us about one more thing about yourself. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food. I have a lot of it. Can I list them all or just one of them?
Or you can say the top three. I was eating pati just right now. I love pati.
I love tandoori, which is a Malaysian dish. It's not from
Oh.
my country, but I love it. That's one thing. I also love like most of the fast food, which I know is not really good for my health. But there's one more thing. It's an Iranian dish. It's called juje kebab. It's kind of like chicken with rice, basically, but a special chicken and a special rice.
I love it. I really love those kind of uh, food, and I just finished a little bit of my dinner, and I will go back after the interview to finish the second half. So, Alish, after we warmed up the audience and we are ready for your speech, let's reveal the topic what you will talk about. So, I prepared something here. So, today we will talk about from Shiraz to success, how to pave your way with failure. Very interesting title. So, before you start your speech, where is it coming from? And why is Shiraz? Why to success and why failure?
Uh, Honestly, if someone asks me what is something you're most proud of, I would always say my failures because um, I made way too many mistakes. Really, a lot of mistakes in any way you can think of. And I think that played a role in the person I am today. It helped me learn new things. It helped me shape my character, build my experience, and basically uh, be the exact person I am today. The personality, the academic, the professional, and anything else. So I want to just share a little bit more about uh, that transformation. How someone from like maybe 10 years ago who was skipping final exams in school suddenly transformed to be someone who was getting all student awards, student of the year, dean's list, scholarship, and everything else. That transformation I think is quite interesting. This is I want to summarize it somehow because we only have like 25 minutes now, but I'll try to cover it all as much as possible.
Perfect. So let's get to it. I will let you do the speech, but for the audience who is listening to us, please put your questions into the comments and give your remarks and everything in the comments because we would like to get back to you at the end of the session. So I could say, Alish, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Andrea. Okay, so I briefly mentioned right about 10 years ago where I was in school and I was kind of irresponsible, not really the most mm, careful person with my future and the people around me. But uh, a lot of stuff happened in between that helped me realize a few more things about life, and you know, mm, more like a guideline that I came up with for myself, so I can transform from that person to become the person I am today, right? And the guideline for me was five keywords, which at the end we will see how they connect the dots and how it relates to me myself. Along the way, after making so many mistakes, having achievements, meeting amazing people in my life, and basically having ups and downs and various experiences from up here until low here. Uh, the first thing I came up with was to appreciate. Letter A, appreciate. Appreciate anything I do have in my life right now, and the people I have in my life right now, and all the things, the resources that I can access right now. The next one was after I have them and appreciate them, what do I do with them, right? So I learn from them. If I have like amazing people in my network, in my circle, in my classrooms, my colleagues, my mentors, anyone else, right? I try to learn from them. That becomes the learn, right? And the next one would be interact. After I learn, what do I do with whatever I have learned and I have gained? I should actually share them, right? Share them with the next generation, my peers, the younger kids. Sometimes I go to high schools to have sharing sessions with school kids as well as keep that learning and interaction in a loop where I constantly learn and gain while I'll also give it back in one way or another. The next step was to smile. It's a tough journey, right? Whichever journey we have right now, whether we are a student, working, or homemakers, uh, young, old, female, male, it doesn't matter. All of us have some struggles one way or another. Different shapes, different sizes, different formats, but we have it all, right? So it's very important to be able to smile and keep calm no matter what's happening and no matter what we're doing. And the fifth and the last one is hustle. Hustling for me was like a everyday thing. Like I said a little bit earlier, as a student, I could never just sit in class and just do the things that are expected from a student. I was super active outside classrooms, extracurricular activities, working part-time internships, gaining experience, getting mentorships, organizing events, attending events, hackathons, so many things, just name it. And it was great experience for me to learn a lot under pressure. So if you put them all together, appreciate, learn, interact, smile, and hustle. You put the first letter of all together, it becomes Alish. Appreciate, learn, interact, smile, hustle. Basically, I didn't know that I was kind of doing this during the journey until I think a few years ago when I realized that, oh my God, this guideline has helped me a lot to grow, to become a better person every day, and started to share this with other people. The feedback was amazing. Like every time, uh, sorry, ever since I came up with this, I think about 2 3 years ago until today, I've been invited to over 200 speaking engagements around the country in Malaysia and shared my 2 cents with various type of people from different backgrounds, whether students, graduates who are looking for building their profile and building their careers. So, but how did I come up with that guideline, right? Now you might say, yeah, you can't just get up one day in the morning and come up with something like that, right? How did that come up? Uh, Besides failure, I can't really think of anything else right now. Seriously. I made so many mistakes, way so many mistakes in terms of communications with my colleagues, communications with my supervisors, uh, communicating with friends, task wise, uh, or other things in the professional world, from etiquette, from personality, seeing other people, how other people do it, how I should avoid it. There were so many ways I could learn, but the failure part and me making mistake was the most important one. After that, that I came up with all these, uh, I would say like half achievements here and there. I reflected and tried to look back. What have I done? So, high school, I finished it with O-level certificate. Then I moved on to diploma. For 2.5 years, I did my mechatronics engineering. After that, I did my bachelor's degree for 4 years. So, as a fresh grad, I am way older than a fresh graduate out there, right? They're usually 21, 22, max 23. I am a lot older than that because of my experience. So the point is, I wouldn't really recommend you to rush for anything like that. If there's a mistake, if there's an achievement, if whatever it is, if you have a goal in mind, don't try to rush for it. If you actually, um, you're going there, you're on the right path, you know what you're doing, but maybe you need more time. Don't rush it. Just go with it, go with your plans and stick to it. Along the way, improve it, adjust your goals, adjust um, uh, your 5-year plans, right? Speaking of 5-year plans, I don't actually believe in this because 5 years ago, I never thought I would be here one day. Never, ever. Like, I would never imagine that I would be invited to a TEDx conference twice or be invited to so many universities around the country to speak to my peers, even though we're all from the same group in terms of age. I would never imagine that one day I would be having some really amazing people in my network that I can always reach out to for help, for mentorship, for support. So maybe you can name it as vision, like Arnold says, but don't call it a plan because plan always changes. Let's be honest, like 3 years ago, we had no idea coronavirus is coming to the world to shut it down for like 2+ years, but it did. So if we stick to a plan, what happens? It's impossible to reach it by basically. But if you have a vision, that is different. Let's say if my vision is to go to a vacation, to a destination, doesn't matter how I go, when I go, what I do. The point is I want to go there, right? That's the vision that we should have. And I did have that. I wanted to become a better person every day as a student, and I always wanted to experience something more than just my classmates. Because, honestly, universities these days just produce robots, and when we graduate, I am the same person as my classmate, right? So why should an employer employ me? Why should an investor invest in my business and my ideas? So I try to be outstanding in my network, and it worked because now that I'm graduated, uh, I'm still in the phase to transition to becoming a full-time working adult, and I can see the difference because a lot of my classmates are really, um, how would I say it? They don't know why they studied what they studied. They don't know what they're gonna do now. A bit of cluelessness is always there, right? We always have a bit of questions here and there, but eventually you know at least a bit about yourself. You know some passions here and there. You know some hobbies, some interests, and at the back of your mind, you kind of know what you're doing and what you want to do. If you went through the journey that I was, but looking at my classmates or some of the other peers that I know of, that lack of mistakes, lack of experience to just fall down every day and get up the next morning, uh, it is clearly obvious. So going back to the point I was trying to make earlier, if there is one thing that I'm super proud of is the amount of failures and mistakes I've made so far because I'm young, I can always recover, I can always get back up, and I can always fix it. But I'm glad I made them now at this age because I can have enough time to recover from it. But if I do it maybe when I'm 30, 40, then I don't really have much time to recover from it. So, in your journey, which is actually the topic here, how to pave your way with failure, embrace failures like it's a lollipop, like you love to fail. There's nothing embarrassing about it. I know in the society it is seen the other way around. If you fail at something, they'll be like, "Oh my God, you are stupid. You're this. You're this." In, out. Seriously. I failed my subjects. I failed in high school, basically, not after that. I failed business ideas. I failed at competitions. I failed at so many things. And now my quota of failure is kind of higher than anyone else around my age, even though it's not full yet because I still can fail a lot. Uh, to recap, my guideline to the person I am today so far, which I don't think really is that much of a outstanding yet, but maybe we can say I'm a little bit more experienced than my peers because of all the activities I had outside classrooms, right? So the guideline would be appreciate, learn, interact, smile, and hustle. Do Alish, hashtag do Alish, and uh, embrace failure like there's no tomorrow. At the end, I also want to mention a few very short and brief points. Number one is about comparing yourself with others. I see it very often. We tend to compare ourselves with others. Oh, that guy is 21 only and has already got his MBA. Oh, that guy is only 22, but he's a senior manager in a good company. That guy is only 25, but he's the founder of a very successful startup. Yeah, great. Good for them. Nothing to be jealous about. It's inspiring, that's nice, but that doesn't mean we should be influenced somehow to go through depression or jealousy or like compare ourselves with them. Oh my God, he's half my age and he's already there. I am so old already. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. All that comparison does nothing but to make our life miserable. It's a very important point. I see it very often around me, at least. The people that I see, the people I talk to, don't compare yourself with them. Maybe you can get inspiration from them, be inspired by them, but never try to compare yourself with them or copy them. And the next thing is, like I said, I am actually doing that. Uh, I don't want to rush. I don't want to say, oh my God, I am supposed to be graduated by the age of 22 or something, but I'm not. Then I'll feel miserable. I don't want to do that. It didn't happen. Yeah, it should have happened, but it didn't. Okay, so I did an extra 2.5 years in diploma. That's great. I have more experience. Now, maybe a bit late, but it's not like this end of the world, right? So try to not uh, fall into the trap of what the society wants from you. Instead, look down, look within you, and see what do you, when do you want to do it? How do you want to do it? If there's one thing that I'm really known for is in and out. Oh, by the way, speaking of that, I love getting feedback. I always ask my friends, my network, my mentors, my classmates, my colleagues, everyone to give me feedback as much as possible. Receiving them, I always welcome them with a huge hug. But then I think about it, I process it here, right? Is it true? Is it something that I can improve? Is it something that I can use to, grow further? If yes, I'll take actions and do it. If no, in, out. No offense, it's a feedback that I got just because it doesn't reflect on me, or it is not really true about me, doesn't mean I shouldn't welcome it, right? So those are a few very short and brief points I wanted to share with you as well. I'll pass it back to Andrea, and I look forward to your questions too. If there's anything, please shoot them.
It's a really interesting story, and I think you are in between something that something new is opening up, and something old is closing, which is always exciting in life when there is a change like this. And I would really encourage the audience. I see that people are watching us, so please, if you have questions or if you liked what you heard, just give a thumbs up so that we see that you listen to Alish and you like the story. And on the other hand, I will ask you a lot of questions because I'm really, really curious about you. So the first thing is that what made you so driven during the school? What made you become the kind of like the student, right? The real student that
Yeah.
everyone is wishing for. All the parents want a student or or a son like this. So what made you do that?
Uh, I think one very good opportunity that I have early in my life was to live on my own, away from my family, since more than 10 years ago. So it's basically starting from high school time, and that made me, not that I wanted to, but it made me be more independent, be more responsible, and experience a lot more stuff that perhaps if I was living with my family, I wouldn't experience them. The second thing was looking at uh, you know people around me, like cousins, friends here and there. When they graduate, no matter how good their CGPA is, no matter how brilliant they are, those that I'm talking about were always struggling to do something after they graduate. So it kind of made me like think, what can I do to avoid that situation in a few years' time? I don't want to be one of them. I don't want to be seriously. I don't want to be one of them. uh, so it made me think a bit more what I can do, what I can experience, what I should be. Even if I don't have the exact mindset or the knowledge yet, but I wanted to at least become better and better and closer to that person that I want to be after I graduate. That would be why I became a lot more active, a lot more active. And just, like a snowball, at first I was only going through, maybe just some events, maybe some student activities and so on, but it just grew. Like, I don't know where that came from. That's why I was saying that I'm glad that I didn't plan for it, because whatever I could plan was not even 10% of whatever happened.
And let's just say you tried really a lot of things. I mean, I remember eating burger at Alish Burger.
Yes, yes.
So it was very nice to support you basically, and I really love that you are trying and trying. Gladys is writing something. Hi Alish, one of your greatest achievements is being the organizer of LinkedIn Local Kuala Lumpur, where it provided a platform for many of us to get to know each other offline. So hashtag do Alish, she is using it.
Thank you, Gladys. I'm really glad to hear that. And honestly, I think that was one of the the biggest achievements I've had so far as well, because a lot of other things stemmed from it. Meeting amazing people from their opportunities, from their um, collaborations, meeting brands, having speaking engagements in amazing places around the country, a lot of them from there. So really happy that uh, I could do that.
So we will do it
Of
again.
course, with the support of everyone else, I didn't do it alone.
We will do it again. I already have plans. I just
Absolutely.
have to reach out to
Yes,
you because today I had again a vision, so we have to talk.
absolutely. I
So
just
many
can't wait
things.
for the pandemic to finish so we can do this.
Yes, I really would like to go back also to personal events and do some kind of a personal meetup, and I will tell you what's the idea. But never mind. We will do a lot of
Ooh,
beautiful things
what
together.
is
So
that?
coming up very, very soon. But it's still about you. So before Damilara can join the studio and we see him coming, then until then, let's just talk a little bit further about the failure. Like a lot of people are afraid to start things because they are afraid of the failure. This is the biggest thing that is holding them back, right? You did it many times, and to be honest, it's not always a good thing, right? So how did you feel, and then how did you manage to come out of it if it was a very bad feeling or very something that dragged you down? So how could you get out of it?
Before I answer that, I just want to say that I know we are humans. We have feelings, we have emotions, and no matter how uh, amazing and how strong we are mentally and emotionally, sometimes we can have burnout, we can have mental breakdowns, and that is normal. What is not normal if it is to let it really slow you down for long term. Short term, it happens to all of us, and it's normal. Now, I mean, I don't know how I should answer that, because anytime I remember, I was always uh, making mistakes somehow, and I was always okay with it, and I would laugh about it. Like, for example, right? Uh, how do I say it? For example, we are playing football, right? And I miss a shot. Some people get angry. Oh my god, I was about to score a goal, and I'm like, I don't know. I would just laugh about it. Maybe that's just part of my personality. Automatically, the first thing that comes to my mind is how can I make a joke from that terrible incident that happened just now. And I just don't want to ruin my mental health, my mood, and everything just because a small thing happened. I look at, okay, what if I get angry? Can I change it? No. If I get upset and cry, can I change it? No. So I decided to just make a joke about it. At least I can laugh. My friends and people around me can laugh, right? And a lot of them I share on my LinkedIn too, right? And it gets a lot of attractions there. Uh, Honestly, that's it. I can't like pinpoint exactly what it is. It's just I think life is too short to be angry and upset all the time.
That's a beautiful message, actually, because it's all about how you see the problem and how you go about it. But yeah, some people have a lot of difficulties with dealing with the problem. So it's really important also to keep it in mind that if you are really struggling, then you need to reach out and don't dwell on it alone, because it's not a lucky thing to stay alone with all your problems, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. By the way, while it is actually good for myself that I rarely get angry about my mistakes or failures, it is kind of not so good for the people around me. Because if they fall down in front of me, the first thing I do before I hold their hands to get up, I laugh about it. So that was supposed to be a joke, Andrea.
Yeah,
Why
I
that
know. It's
serious
kind of
face?
like with the French jokes, it never happens for me. I don't know why. Let's try it again. I will laugh, I promise.
Okay, another time, another one, when I could think of
Okay,
another joke.
no problem, no problem. So I think Tamilara is still struggling to connect, so we still have a little bit of time.
Sure.
Let's just say that you are starting your new life. You will become someone who is really in a responsible world. You have to go to work somewhere or do more entrepreneurship or really do more Alish, right? So how will you do that? What is your plan, or do you have any plan, or do you just use a network and surf on it, or you have already some plans?
I have some options in mind that are in progress. Before I talk about them, perhaps I need to finalize it first. But I could say that I'm really, really glad that I am, um doing going through this transition, because I was always a how do I say this? A business person, someone who always wanted to work, do things, solve problems, uh, motivate others, you know, that sort of things. So, what I could say now is that those few options that I have in mind, all of them are equally exciting. I just have to see which one is better and more feasible right now, so I can do that. And soon I'll be sharing about it. I can't wait to share about it actually. I've been so quiet on LinkedIn for so long.
I know you are waiting for something. I know you are ready. You are waiting for something to announce it.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of things have happened in the meantime, though I haven't talked about it yet, but I will.
I know. It's something exciting in the loop. So we are waiting for it until you will announce it, and let's see what
Yes.
happens.
If we
As
have,
a last message, sorry, before we wrap up and we go further, maybe we can talk a little bit because I don't see Damilar is struggling a little bit with the devices. So what would be your advice to the wise and the young? How could they be bolder together? How could they understand each other more? And what do you need as young people from the other generation? And what do you don't need? What you don't need? Tell me the points.
okay, there are so many things when it comes to this, but perhaps I could just share two things. Number one is social media is killing everyone's mentality and mental health, and uh, drains their emotional energy. Second one is we are looking at the wrong target. While we should actually focus on ourselves, we talk, um, or basically stalk others, right? What others are doing, what can that celebrity do? Is that celebrity gonna be together with this celebrity? And basically the things that has absolutely no effect in our life. We get so busy with that until we don't have time to do the things that actually matter, right? So about the social media, right? I just want to elaborate on it a bit. um, I think I only started my LinkedIn about uh, 3 4 years of being away from Facebook at those early stage. I was so before I opened my LinkedIn account, right? Back then, I was away from everything, and back then there was even no Instagram. Even after Instagram became a thing, I wasn't on it until a few years ago. Uh, but I just don't understand why uh, people would share all the things that don't really matter to anyone else. At the same time, a lot of those things are not positive. Like you see a lot of complaining, you see a lot of fighting, a lot of, especially on some social media like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I think it's less on LinkedIn, but still there as well. Uh, it's just so much that I think I can talk about it for like an hour. But to wrap it up in just 1 minute, social media is full of bullshit. And just because someone is sharing a nice photo there, or just because someone is saying something in a, okay, I have to censor myself. I'm about to use all the not so good words. Just because of that, it doesn't mean they're right. just because they have some followers, right? A lot of negativity is there. We shouldn't actually be on social media if we cannot cope with it, if we don't know how to deal with that negativity, how to take those comments and messages personally. You know, there are a lot of messages there as well, right? Probably you might receive it too sometimes, or comments down your post. You're
Yes.
so nonsense. This is bullshit. This is not good. What the hell are you doing? All those stuff. Don't be on social media if you cannot cope with those. If you can, then know that maybe that person is not actually, you know, qualified to have a comment about you. Maybe they have nothing else to talk about, nothing else to do in their life but to come here and talk about you in a negative way, right? I think this is a very important message because I see a lot of people somehow getting influenced. You know, that day my friend posted this. You know, this day my friend commented this. You know, and it causes a lot of drama. I just
And you
try.
know the thing, it's very interesting what you say that it becomes a conversation, although it
Yeah,
wouldn't be a conversation without the social media. And it's really interesting how it forms what are people talking about nowadays.
yeah, and politics, religious stuff, like so much negativity there. Uh, what was the other one? That was social media, and the other one about, I forgot earlier. I mentioned it. What was it?
Mm, sorry, I was focusing on the social media topic.
Yeah. But anyway, I think social media
So the young
is
and the
important.
wise, how can they be both together? And we started there, and then we started to talk about the social media and to understand each other and to not to take it so.
Oh yeah, building yourself.
Yes,
Another point I want to mention is about focusing on yourself and
on
not really
yourself.
try to,
Mhm.
yeah, which is somehow about social media too, because a lot of the things we see on social media are the nice things we want to have, the nice people we want to be, which we don't know actually the life that person is going through. Just because they're posting a picture with a Lamborghini doesn't mean they actually own it. Uh, I have so much talk about when it comes to social media. It's just driving me crazy. I want to share it, but we don't have much time.
No, actually, the Lamborghini is really funny. I would need to connect you with the Hungarian guy who is doing a community for young people in Hungary, and he wanted this title like the fake Lamborghini and the real life. So we were talking about that, and he was telling about this. He's really to the point with the youth because he's very close, just like you, I believe, similar age group when he's somewhere in between. And a lot of young people are listening to him. So he's trying to help them to be aware of the scams, be aware what is real on social media, be aware of the real life and how they can survive. And it's something very close to what you do, basically, helping the youth and helping them to guide themselves through what you went through. It's really, really a nice parallel.
Yeah, I've been through so many ups and downs that uh, I could easily see these things. Maybe that was a privilege that I could experience all those failures earlier, so I could see this clearly these days when someone else couldn't see them. I'm not sure what is it, but yeah, it is social media. If it's not used properly, I think it has more negative effects than positive.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. So let's take the social media in a way that use it for good. Like, I mean, I remember Kayatri told it that social media can be super good if you're aware and you know for what you want to use it, but it can be very bad if you don't know for what you are using it and you are just scrolling away with a open sleepy mind and you get manipulated by every second post.
Yes, yes.
So
Especially if those people who you're interacting with are not exactly the most qualified people to be a role model to you.
how would you make a filtering, by the way? How would you filter the people you are interacting with? How would you see through this smog of fake um, fake kind of fame, or I don't know for what, even just fake influencers, I could say that.
Uh, I have met most of the people I have on my LinkedIn in Malaysia. So luckily, I actually know who they are. I've met them in person. We talked. Even if some of them are from different countries, when they come down to KL, we do hang out or something. So it rarely happens that uh, we interact in a way that I have no idea who they are. However, most of those people that I interact with on LinkedIn, they're usually authentic, they're good, and I rarely encountered such problems on LinkedIn itself. It also could be because of um, the fact that I already have my profile there. I have been posting, and it has a direction, so I don't actually attract the people who are not on the same page as me, right? While on some other social media, which I have less connections there, it's mostly just my friends. So the bottom line is, I very rarely came across those fake people or fake influencers or all those naysayers and so on, which I think is good. But I did face a few of them, those who just with no profile picture, no real name or something, just come down and comment something nasty about you, and they just go. For those, I just ignore it.
Why do you think LinkedIn has such a privilege of being the still the platform where it's more authentic, more real, not so much fake account? I mean, there are fake accounts, of course,
Yeah.
so many, but at least they're not bothering you so much. Why do you think? What's the difference between Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram? What makes a difference here?
I I think LinkedIn came with a purpose. It is not just like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, all that. They say, okay, just connect, just share, just do whatever you want, just just sign up and use my platform so I can steal your data and blah blah blah, right? It came up with a purpose. Uh, it is a professional platform, right? At least the name professional is on it. So it is a lot easier to be a professional person
Mm-hmm.
and interact with the professional people. You wouldn't really see much about like what food I had today, or how much I don't know drink I had today, or anything like that. If you read something or see something or watch something, it somehow relates to the professional life. And in fact, I do learn a lot about uh, like other people, how they do something, how they make mistake and they overcome it with a solution. uh, the content there is really more of what I like. It
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that that is the only platform that is good. For me, that is the better platform, but others could think differently. For example, if you're a photographer, of course Instagram is definitely one of your top two, right? Or as a business, all platforms are important to you, right? But personally, for me, LinkedIn is the one that gives me the content that I need and
A
the
lot
people.
of people are calling it like a family. I heard it many, many times, even today
LinkedIn
with
family.
Brian. It's kind of like it gave me a family. I was lost and I found my tribe. So it's maybe more intimate because of the way how it connects people, how they can build these bonds, or the
Yeah,
culture that they created through LinkedIn. Because at the end, it's really a strict community with the rules, and you have to really follow those rules, and it's
yeah,
kind of like protecting the members too, right?
exactly right.
So we have spoken about so many things. I believe Damilara cannot do it because he's trying to. Let's see. Someone is here. I'm really hoping that he can make it because he's from Africa, and I know how much struggle it is from come online from that part of the world. So let's just bring Damilara up with us so that he
Okay.
can he can join the stage with us. Hi, Damilara. How are you?
Hi everyone.
Can you hear
Good
us?
afternoon. Yes, I can hear you guys. Yes, I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm really happy that
Yeah,
at
can you
the
hear
end
me?
we could reach you. Can you hear us?
Can you? Yes, yes, sure. I can hear you guys. Sure.
Okay, so this is Alish and I'm Andrea, and nice to meet you again, Damilara. Really good to have you on this platform. Some
Hi,
other
Alice.
Hi,
young
How are you
guy.
doing?
hi, Jamila.
You have to connect. You are
Thank
same
you.
same young people already. Let's
I'm not
get
that young though.
uh,
together.
I have so many wrinkles here.
yeah, well, I am not that young. No, I am not young too.
So really nice to meet you, Damilare. We have not so much time because I have to move soon to the workshop room for this technical issue. But never mind, I will get
Okay.
back to you and we will do this interview at another time. We still have 4 weeks to go, so we will find you a time. Now you know how to connect, and we could find you here. And now you practiced a little bit how to connect to StreamYard. But today we were talking about social media and the young people, how they can avoid, not just avoid failures but embrace failures, and why is it so good to just do the failure, the mistake, and then learn from it. What do you think about this topic, Damilara? Do you have anything to add?
Um, sorry. Can you come again with the last part? Last part. Young
So
people.
something about the failures. What do you think about failures or mistakes? Do we need them in life? Is it a good thing or it's a bad
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, yeah. I think failure is like the best teacher in life. Failure is like the best teacher, the best thing that can actually teach you in life. It's more of like the experience that you get when you fail at something and then you have to go again and feel like, okay, this is where I failed. I don't have to go through that road again. And it just like kind of teaches you more and gives you more better experience. Sorry, and gives you better experience in that aspect. So yeah, failure is very good. I take failure very personally because I know that it's like a lesson that no one else can teach me. I went through that path and I saw that failure and I got through that process. So no one else can.
So
I
that's
think we
how
lost you.
yeah, a little bit the connection is still, but we understood it. We got your message. So failure is something that helps you to gather more experience. You just have to get through it, and it's really something beautiful that we need in life. And what would be your
Sure.
message at the end of the talk? Just one message from both of you, um, to the wise generation. How could they understand the young people more? What do you need from the adults to support you to reach your dreams?
You
Maybe
go ahead
Damilara,
first,
you can go first, Damilara.
Okay, okay. What would I think? Or what would I say to the white people? Like, I mean, the old people, right?
Wise or old?
Is
Yes.
that yeah, I think they should just realize that this is the digital age and the young are more inclined to the digital age. So I think we've made better decisions with digital stuff with social media than even though they are wise, but then we are more inclined to the digital age because this is the digital brand aspect. So I feel like the young people actually do better with the internet, the digital world, and the old people to just like give the youth a chance, like to prove their self and all of that.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Alish, what's your take on this?
Uh, if there's just one thing I would say to the youth is to ignore everyone else, forget about what the society want from you, what the companies want from you, what the universities expect from you. You just do what
Yeah,
you think is right about you, and never, ever, 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 ever be afraid of experiencing new things. That experience either could lead to a success or a failure, right? If it's a success, then great, right? Celebrate it. If it is a failure, celebrate it too because you learned something new. And the next one you can succeed it.
That's a good message.
That's the only thing I do all the time. Oh, and besides, do Alish.
That's his name. Alish, do Alish. He has a hashtag. Do you have a hashtag, Damilara?
Hashtag be bold. Be bold.
Be
Be
bold.
bold. Go
Nice.
into yeah. Be bold.
So what would be your message to the young people before we close the discussion? To the young people now.
Yeah, the young people, I feel the key word is just be bold, just enter into source. I see young people now, they are just like scared to try out things and they are skeptical about making decisions. And I'm like, guy, you are still very young. You still have the time to make mistakes over and over again. You can't do that when you are 50 or 60 or 80. You still have the time now. You can still learn from mistakes. So now just go into any decision, although you have to clearly specifically look at the pros and cons of the decisions, but then take risks. Yeah, take risks.
I love it. I love that you could manage to come on board. Now we have to close because I have to go to the workshop room, but I will get back to you on WhatsApp and we will figure out a longer time for you to share what you wanted to share. Thank you very much for trying so many times and going through. Thank you very much. In such a beautiful way. We are here from Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. I'm a Hungarian and we are talking to someone from Africa. How beautiful technology is. Yay!
It was great to be here, Andrea. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
Bye, everyone.
See you at another time. And thank you for the audience. Thank you, Gladys. Thank you, Ria. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.